say hello. Wait, hold on. Milk? No, do you want to go eat lunch? Are you hungry? You want to eat? You want to eat? No. Yes. You gotta go eat your lunch first, and then I'll give you milk. You have to go eat. Okay? Go eat lunch. And banana? Yeah? And chicken? Okay. Ask Dada. Say Dada eat. Say hi, guys. Whatever. I don't like doing this by myself. I feel really strange.
Just do it. No, we're gonna watch you.
That's not awkward at all.
And welcome back to the
Fox Tribe.
Ox Tribe.
So today I'm going to do a collaboration with Connie Watts. She's also a young mom, and we're going to be answering the same question. So if you want to see her answers, then go check out her channel, and I'll link it down below. So the first question is, how does it feel being a young mom, and did you go through situations where people say that you ruined your life? If so, how did you face those insecurities? Do you have any advice for me? I'm also going to be a young mom. I'm only 17 years old. People have been trying to bring me down because I'm young, but I'm trying to only focus on my baby, and I'm going to prove them wrong because my baby is not a mistake. Maybe a lesson, but not a mistake. I don't know everybody's experience, but for me, it's been amazing. I have an amazing daughter, and she's a great listener. She's so smart, and I'm probably a little bit biased, but I don't know. I've definitely been blessed with a good child, so it's maybe easier for me than it is for some people, but I wouldn't change anything. And I never really had to go through any situation where somebody said it was going to ruin my life. I've been told sometimes that I was like maybe too young to have a child, but what are you gonna do? Like, there's really nothing that you can say to change those people's minds, so I just kind of ignore it. You said people have been trying to bring you down because you're young, and yes, for any advice, and the only advice I'd say is I wouldn't say anything to those people. I think I would just prove to them by your actions. So you said you're only 17 years old and people are trying to bring you down, and you were asking for some advice. So the only advice I have for you is keep doing what you're doing and ignore all those people, because in the end it's just about you and your child, and it has really nothing to do with anybody else. The next question was, what has having a child brought to your life? Good things. It's definitely brought me a purpose. Before her, I think I did just like a semester of college, and that really wasn't for me, and when I got pregnant with her, I was like, okay, I really need to figure out what I want to do with my life and what I can do so I could have a way to provide for her. And so having her, that really kind of opened my eyes up to I need to kind of get my butt in gear and do something. Also, it's brought me so much joy. Makes me smile every day, and she's always just happy, or she's not happy, and then sometimes she's hilarious, and so she's definitely brought a lot of life to my life. Is it hard to be a young mom? So I sort of already answered this question a little bit, but for my experience, it's been quite easy. I have an easy child. I have a huge support system. I've been so lucky to be a stay-at-home mom. So I can't complain about anything about being a young mom or being a mom in general. How have people treated you different because you're a young mom? I don't think that you really get treated different from being a young mom versus just being a new mom in general, because people know that you don't really have much knowledge about babies or much knowledge about being a mom in general. So I don't think that they've treated me different from being young. I just think that they want to help me out as much as they can in being a mom. What challenges have you faced being a young mother, and how did you overcome them? I think the biggest challenge that we did face was financial. He and I weren't financially ready when I got pregnant, and I think he was going into his senior year in high school, so he had to finish that out, and then he worked his butt off and got a bunch of jobs, and now we're where we're at now, and we're doing really well, but we're still working at getting where we need to be. I'm a first-time mom with a 4-month-old and was wondering how you plan to sleep train your child and when to start it. Well, my child is 16 months as of a couple days ago, and she still doesn't sleep through the night. So first, good luck. It's a little bit difficult in my situation. My fiance works away, so he goes up to work for a couple weeks and he comes home for a couple weeks. And usually when he's up at home, I'll get my daughter to sleep 7:30, and she'll wake up 2 times a night. And if she wakes up too soon, I'll let her cry for a couple minutes, and usually she'll lay herself back down and go to sleep. But when he comes home, it's like everything that we practiced the whole time he was gone goes out the window, and she's up, and as soon as she sees him, she wants to start playing, and it's a process. But I think that if you stick to the schedule, then it'll work. But I don't really have any plans of actually sleep training her. I live on the upstairs of my mom's house, and so me, her, and her dad, we share a room. And I think that once she gets her own room, it might be a little bit easier, but I'm not sure, so we'll have to play that by ear. Did you have a boy name picked out just in case? Any cravings, and worst and best thing about your pregnancy? Actually, I didn't have any boy names picked out, and I answered this question a little bit in my very first Q&A, first video, and I will link that down below as well. But we looked and looked and looked to try and find a boy name, and all we could come up with was girl name. So I kind of was like, oh well, she probably is gonna be a girl then. I just kind of assumed it would be a girl, and I think we found out like 14 weeks or something like that it was a girl. So it was really quick, and we didn't really need to ever look for a boy name. Any cravings? So at the very beginning of my pregnancy, I craved grapes like nobody's business. Like, I took them to church with me. I had them in my vehicle all the time. I loved grapes. But then like a little bit towards the middle end of it, it started like, I don't drink coffee, and I just wanted to have a cup of coffee all the time. Like, it was like, oh, you know, a cup of coffee sounds good. But then as soon as I started drinking it, I would never finish it. Like, it just didn't, I don't know. I didn't ever finish it, so I don't really know if that would be a craving or not. But grapes, definitely. And the worst and best thing about my pregnancy, the worst was probably the very beginning, where I did have a few days where I had morning sickness, but I had a super easy pregnancy. Like, there was no, I'm in the middle of a question.
What question?
Worst and best thing about my pregnancy.
Worst and best thing? Worst thing? Nothing. Best thing? Her man was there by her side until the last month. I left.
Where'd you go?
Here.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that wasn't the last month.
No, it was the beginning.
Yeah. Whatever.
I didn't really have to worry about like high risk or anything. I wasn't at high risk pregnancy. Everything was always fine during my ultrasounds or during my visits. So I got really lucky, and it was just easy. On the scale of 1 to 10, how hard is it being a young mom, and why? It is hard. I'd probably say it's almost a 10. It's one of the hardest things I actually have ever had to do. But I don't think that being a young mom makes it any easier or harder. I think just being a new mom in general is hard. There's a lot of obstacles that you have to overcome, and a lot of new things you're learning, and it's just not easy. There's days where I just completely, like, I need a break, and I have the support system. I have my mom. If she wants to take her outside, I can get like a couple minutes to myself, or her dad's, when he's home, he will take her out and go to the park or something, so I can have a little bit of time. But it's not easy. It's not an easy job. What would you say is the most challenging part of being a young mom, and what is the least challenging? I think I'd say the most challenging part for me would be that it is constant. Like, you don't get to just put her on pause and take a break and come come back to it later when you want to. It's like literally it's 24/7 in the middle of the night, during the day, during her nap. I'm still constantly checking on her, making sure she's okay. So it's I think that would probably be the most challenging part. But the easiest part is that I don't think that you'll ever have anybody love you as much as your child, and you won't love anybody as much as you love your child. So it's like that bond is unbreakable, and it's amazing, and I wouldn't change anything about it. What would you tell a teenage girl who is considering becoming a mother? Think about it really long and hard, because it is a huge responsibility, and it's not like getting a puppy, and it's not like anything you've actually ever probably experienced in your life. It's a human life. It's another life that you need to raise for 18 years and beyond. It's sole provider, and you need to be willing to drop everything you've ever done and just ultimately be there for your child. And it's definitely not a light responsibility. And I'm telling you all this information about how it's been so easy for me and how I have a huge support system and I can be a stay-at-home mom, but that's not the case for everybody, and it's not always how it looks on TV or how it looks in other people's videos. It's harder than that, and it's you might not have a smooth pregnancy, you might not have an easy baby, or you might not have the help that other people have, and you definitely need to take a lot of time and think about that decision. How do you deal with stress while being a young mom? I'm expecting soon and I'm terrified. Me and the father recently have broken up and I'm getting even more stressed. I'm worried about diapers and more. How will I handle my work and take care of my baby? If you can give me any advice, that would mean a lot. Some advice that I could give you was that it will work itself out. You will figure it out. I think that young moms and moms in general put a lot more stress than they need to on themselves about being a parent. Just saying that we need the newest toys and we need the best diapers and we need to do this and we need to provide this for our child. But you don't need the best of the best. It's not even what they care about. They just care about being with you and being able to spend time with you. So I think that you should try and stress a little bit less. For one, it'll be better for your baby now, and even after your baby is born, it's gonna be healthier for your child. But I really think that everything will work itself out, and I think that you'll be okay. So that's it for today's video. Again, go check out Connie Watts. I'll link her YouTube channel down below, and she answered the same questions, but you can kind of see her perspective on being a young mom and kind of get more feel for how it's going to be. So if you enjoyed watching this Q&A and you actually made it to the end, then give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below any other video suggestions that you guys would like to see, and thanks for watching.